Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Banatul Murkafiah. Saya dari Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Universitas Islam Indonesia. Di sini saya akan menjelaskan mata kuliah yang saya ajar. Nama mata kuliahnya adalah Language Classroom Management. Mata kuliah ini adalah mata kuliah kelompok prodi yang diambil oleh mahasiswa semester 4. Mata kuliah ini adalah mata kuliah wajib yang kemudian di semester ini diajarkan secara luring. Kemudian saya akan menjelaskan terkait dengan CPL dan CPMK dari mata kuliah tersebut. CPL atau capaian pembelajaran lulusan untuk mata kuliah Language Classroom Management ada 3, yaitu yang pertama sifat, kemudian yang kedua pengetahuan, dan yang ketiga adalah keterampilan khusus. Untuk capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah masing-masing masing-masing CPL diturunkan menjadi beberapa CPMK atau capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah. Untuk CP sifat ada diturunkan menjadi 2 capaian pembelajaran sifat, yakni yang pertama, mahasiswa mampu menyelesaikan tugas secara tepat waktu sesuai dengan instruksi yang diberikan. Adapun CP yang kedua untuk yang sifat adalah mahasiswa mampu menyelesaikan tugas dengan jujur. Selanjutnya untuk CPL pengetahuan, di sini saya menurunkannya menjadi 3 capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah. Yang pertama, untuk CPMK 01, mahasiswa mampu memahami konsep dan teori pengelolaan kelas bahasa Inggris. Di sini tugas yang saya berikan kepada mahasiswa adalah melalui pemberian case study dan kemudian mahasiswa bisa praktek role play dengan harapan bisa memahami konsep pengelolaan kelas atau manajemen kelas bahasa Inggris yang sudah dipelajari sebelumnya. Adapun bobot untuk role play tugas ini adalah 10%. Selanjutnya di CPMK yang kedua diharapkan mahasiswa mampu melaporkan hasil observasi pengelolaan kelas luring yang dilakukan oleh guru-guru bahasa Inggris di sekolah menengah pertama dan sekolah menengah atas. Di sini tugas yang diberikan oleh saya adalah mahasiswa secara individu mengisi lembar observasi pengelolaan kelas secara luring, datang ke sekolah, mengobservasi pembelajaran guru di sekolah, kemudian mengamati elemen-elemen atau aspek classroom management atau manajemen kelas yang ada di sekolah tersebut. Kemudian tugas ini merupakan tugas kedua yang bobotnya senilai 20%. Selanjutnya, untuk CPMK yang ketiga, di sini diharapkan mahasiswa mampu mengidentifikasi masalah pengelolaan kelas luring dari observasi yang sebelumnya telah dilakukan. Tidak hanya mengidentifikasi masalah, tapi mahasiswa juga diharapkan mampu mendiskusikan temuan dan mencari solusi dari masalah tersebut. Dari CPMK ini, tugas yang saya berikan adalah mahasiswa secara berkelompok dapat membuat PowerPoint slides berisi identifikasi masalah dan solusi yang dipresentasikan secara bergantian antar kelompok. Jadi ketika mengobservasi ke sekolah, mereka datang secara berkelompok, namun pelaporannya dilakukan secara individu. Nah, dengan kelompok yang sama ini, kemudian mahasiswa juga mengidentifikasi masalah dan mendiskusikan temuan serta solusi dari masalah tersebut. Adapun bobot untuk presentasi ini adalah 10%. Selanjutnya, untuk CPMK ketiga juga diukur dengan UTS yang berupa essay singkat. Di essay singkat ini, mahasiswa menjabarkan solusi yang kemudian diusulkan untuk bisa menyelesaikan masalah yang sebelumnya ditemukan di observasi tersebut. Essay singkat ini juga memiliki bobot 10%. Selanjutnya, untuk keterampilan khusus, saya menurunkan menjadi 2 CPMK, yaitu CPMK 04 dan CPMK 05. Untuk CPMK 04, di sini mahasiswa secara individu bisa membuat desain pengelolaan kelas luring dengan menggunakan atau dengan mengimplementasikan aspek-aspek atau elemen-elemen manajemen kelas sesuai dengan solusi dari masalah yang sebelumnya sudah ditemui di awal saat observasi. Di sini mahasiswa penugasannya adalah dalam bentuk desain pengelolaan kelas luring. Selanjutnya untuk tugas keempat ini bobotnya adalah sebesar 15%. Nah, setelah kemudian mahasiswa bisa mendesain rencana pengelolaan kelas, di sini masuk ke CPMK selanjutnya, yaitu CPMK 05, diharapkan mahasiswa mampu mempraktekkan manajemen kelas secara luring dengan mengimplementasikan elemen-elemen classroom management sesuai dengan desain yang sudah dibuat sebelumnya. Tentu saja di sini penugasannya adalah praktek pengelolaan kelas secara luring dan secara individu. Adapun bobot untuk penugasan CPMK 5 ini adalah sebesar 25%. Dan terakhir, setelah mahasiswa telah menyelesaikan seluruh tugas dan perkuliahan, di akhir semester mahasiswa akan diuji lagi menggunakan UAS, di mana di sini UAS-nya adalah dalam bentuk reflective essay yang berbobot 10%. Demikian adalah 5 CPMK yang ada yang saya susun untuk RPS saya. Dan adapun metode pembelajaran yang saya gunakan adalah problem based learning. Adapun video pembelajaran yang akan saya tampilkan berikut adalah untuk topik terkait dengan students responsibility, dan ini diharapkan mahasiswa bisa memahami terkait dengan konsep students responsibility, dan dijadwalkan di pertemuan ke-12, di mana di sini saya akan memberikan case study kepada mahasiswa terkait dengan case study atau studi kasus terkait dengan student responsibility kepada mahasiswa. Selanjutnya mahasiswa mendapatkan materi dari saya menyampaikan materi terkait dengan student responsibility, dan terakhir mahasiswa akan melakukan role play untuk memperagakan konsep student responsibility. Jadi ada mahasiswa yang berperan menjadi teacher, ya, ada mahasiswa yang berperan menjadi student. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. So, how are you today? So good. Before we start our meeting, let's pray together, everyone. Let's pray, shall we? Amen. Okay, so actually today you're going to continue doing your work, but before that I need to explain a certain materials. Well, actually this is something related to classroom management as well. So before we go to the main the main materials, what comes in your mind when we talk about students' responsibility? What is responsibility? Tanggung jawab. Yeah. So how is it related to classroom management, do you think? Can anyone give me examples? Students' responsibility
on doing their homework.
Okay, so students are responsible in doing their homework. Okay, thank you. So when they are submitting their homework, for example, yeah. Okay. Do you think it is important or not?
Yes.
Why it is important? Kenapa? Why do you think it is important for the students to have this kind of responsibility? Because when the students does not have any responsibility, then what will happen? They will less understand the materials. They will not submit their assignment. They will not do any assignment. They will not understand the materials. And of course, the learning objective will not be achieved. I will tell you about this first. So, helping students understand what responsibility is and is not. Say, for example, these are the examples of what actually means by responsibility. So, having responsibility means like the first one. Can probably, Rozak, would you please read number one?
Pretend that a video camera is recording the situation. Look at what the facts are as the camera sees them.
Okay, can you explain what does it mean, for example? Being responsible mean like number one. You may mix in Bahasa Indonesia, that's fine.
So, what I got from that sentence is with responsibility there's gonna be consequences if you don't do them. So you can't really hide.
Oh. All right, so we cannot really hide, we cannot really run from the responsibility, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of, or it's like the camera is always recording our actions so that we cannot hide anything. All right. Okay, so that's how responsibility is. So seeing something from a very objective point of view or objective perspective, for example. So because camera, when we record something using our camera or video camera, for example, it's only it only records something that we see through our eyes, right? So there is nothing subjective, there is nothing, nothing fake, fake, unclear, for example. So it only looks at the fact or only looks at the objective things, for example. But the other interpretation, I do also agree with Rozak previously mentioned that being responsible means like when you are given a certain assignment, then you cannot run, you cannot hide, you cannot avoid that assignment. That the thing that you have to do as the students, for example, you do the assignment, gitu ya. So that is what is meant by being responsible or responsibility for number one. And for the second, decide what part you played in the problem or the successful situations. If it is okay, it's okay for you if you made any mistake, and if it's okay to say if you did something great. So can anyone probably help me? What does it mean by number two? Can you give me examples of students having this kind of responsibility in the classroom, for example?
Sometimes students afraid to answer question for the teacher. Students afraid if they will answer wrong.
Okay.
So exactly, it's okay for them to make a mistake. Answer.
Okay, sometimes students are afraid for making mistakes in answering the questions from the teachers, but as the teachers you need to say it's okay to make any mistake because you are a learner, because you are learners and you are still learning and so on. Okay, thank you, Lisa, that's a good interpretation as well. Okay, if you did number three, let's take a look at number three. If you did have responsibility for something that was not good, take positive actions to correct the situation as much as possible, such as apologizing, fixing the problem, or promising not to do it again, and then not doing it again. What does it mean? In an example, can anyone help me? In an examples, in the classroom situations? Something that was not good, you have the responsibility for it, but you need to apologize, you need to fix the problem. And what kind of problem do you think that probably could happen in the classrooms?
Maybe one student is disturbing their friends, and then they need to say sorry, they need to fix their relations again, and then the teacher asks the students to say sorry, to promise that she or he will not disturb them.
Okay, so for example, the teacher asks the students to work on a certain assignment, and there is one student disturb other friends, and because she or he disturb other friends, then her or his friend cannot focus on the assignment. Okay, and this one student should apologize to their friends. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, so as teacher, we need to
Ask the students to say sorry.
ask the students to say sorry. Okay, we need to remind the students, of course, and we need to put him back to his seat, for example. Okay, thank you, Oyi, for the examples. Okay, so that's being responsible. You need to tell this to your students later on, Okay, so and responsibility is not this one. So this is not what responsibility is. So for example, looking at the situation from your point of view only, Um, and you cannot wait for the other person to solve the problem if you have responsibility for it. And the third one, you cannot allow other people to take the credit for what you have accomplished. Can you give me examples of, yeah, you may take an example from any number. Wafa, do you want to say something?
For number 3, for example, if you were assigned a group project,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like 4 students who are working on it, but there's only one student who did all the work, and then other student, he was taking the credit for it, then you shouldn't let him.
Okay, and what the teacher should do? Do you think? If it happened, for example, if it happens to you or your friends, for example, and then what the teacher should do it?
I think teacher should talk to the person that was taking the credit and ask them, like, what did you do? To know if they really did the work or not.
Okay. Or you can also, our teacher can also do some kind of peer assessment. So each of the group members can, give, what is it? Or share opinion about their friend. For example, okay, I have 3 friends in my group, for example, A, B, and C. For example, A and B work hard, very hard. Meanwhile, C didn't work at all, didn't contribute at all. So, for example, teacher also can give some kind of peer assessment, asking the group members to, share their opinion about the contributions of each of the students in that group, for example. That's also possible. Okay. So, do not take any credits on what you have not done, gitu ya. So if it is somebody else's accomplishment, for example, do not take it as yours. So that is not responsible. That is mean that you are not responsible. And number 2, can anyone help me with the number 2? What is meant by number 2? Or can you give me examples in classroom situations for number 2? Waiting for other person to solve the problem if you have any responsibility for it. Sure, please. What do you think? So, can you give me examples? Like what? It's okay if you want to say it in Bahasa Indonesia, that's fine. You can reflect on your own experiences when you were in a certain class or in a certain group. Then there is somebody in your class, for example, to this number 2. It means that she or he was not responsible at all, because she or he is waiting for the other person to solve the problem that actually this something that he needs to do by himself. It's his or her responsibility, but he instead asking the other person to solve it for him or her. So, can you give me examples? Like what?
In my opinion, that is a simple when one student's not understanding about the material, and then instead of asking to their friends, to he or she's friend or teacher, just waiting one person maybe for explain the material instead of asking.
Okay, so probably if a student, for example, has a problem with assignment given by the teacher, it is better for him or her not to ask other friend to solve it for him or her, but better to ask for help from other friends to explain, the materials or to explain the assignment for him, gitu ya. Okay. Yeah, so that's an examples in classroom situations. Thank you, Yoyi. Okay, so another examples as teachers, you can also do this to your students. For examples, this is how you teach responsibility for your students, especially for if you think or if you can see here, completing my homework, my friend completing his or her homework, keeping the school building clean. What do you think the level of the students? Is it children or adult or teenager, or who are the students probably? If the examples is like this. Like we teach responsibility from very basic ones, yes, like completing my homework. Is it my responsibility? Is it other person responsibility? Is it everyone responsibility, for example? So who do you think are the students if you teach like this? Junior, probably junior high school students, yeah. So they are no longer children, but they are not yet adult, yeah. So they are in between. So we need to teach them to be responsible. Like if you have homework, then who will be responsible for completing your homework, misalnya? Then they need to choose this one, gitu ya. And what do you think? The answer for number 2. My friend completing his or her homework. Whose responsibility is it? The other person's, yeah, of course. The other person's responsibility. Keeping the school building clean? Everyone responsibility, gitu ya. So if the classrooms is, for example, there are some rubbish in the classrooms, then everyone should be responsible for it by taking or picking up the trash and put it to the bin, misalnya. Okay, so now let's practice. I want to invite 2 students probably. We will go back to the case study, yeah. So I have 2 cases. The first one is about 2 students working on the same project, and one of the students claimed that it is only her work. So she is taking the credit for the whole project. Meanwhile, you as the teacher, you know that the other students actually have already done his best as well. So what do you think? What should you do? What you might say to these 2 students? So you need to think about this, and you will do the role play as the teacher and also as the students for these 2 cases. Yeah, I will start from the first case. So I would like to invite Liza. You are the teacher, and you may choose your friend as Fiona and Robert. So probably Fiona should be the female student, and Robert will be the male one. So you may choose the Fiona, and I will choose the Robert for you. You are the teacher, yeah? Okay, so who will be the Roberts here? Siapa ya? Siapa yang mau jadi Robert? Siapa? Siapa? Ada yang mau volunteer? Ayo bantu saya dong. Krisna mau? Hah? Krisna atau Ibnu? Yaudah kamu ini apa? Pink suit apa sih? Sweet coba. Fionanya siapa? Amel, oke. Ayo siapa udah? Dua aja lama banget. Ayo. Would you please come forward, and you too as well? Okay, so we go to the first scenario. Fiona will be Fiona, and you will be Robert, and you will be the teacher, and you need to, Fiona claim the project as your own credit. Meanwhile, Robert pasrah aja ya, kayaknya Robert ya. Ya udahlah, nggak apa-apa Miss kayak gitu misalnya. Tapi Missnya tahu bahwa Robert itu sudah berjuang loh kayak gitu, sudah berusaha keras juga. So what will you say?
Apakah kamu ada masalah dengan Robert atau seperti apa? Kenapa kamu mengklaim bahwa tugas itu kamu semua yang mengerjakan seperti itu? Padahal pada kenyataannya Robert juga ikut mengerjakan tugas tersebut.
Because I don't like Robert.
I
don't like him. I don't like him.
Why you don't like him?
Dia sering ganggu saya di kelas.
So ketika dikelompokkan, kenapa kamu tidak lapor kepada saya jika kamu tidak ingin bekerja sama dengan Robert?
You make a group and I can protest.
Oh,
So I claim the project is my the project is kerjaan.
okay, I understand. So maybe Robert, kamu membuat kesalahan kepada Fiona sehingga dia nggak suka sama kamu. Apa yang udah kamu perbuat kepada dia? Maksud saya, kamu melakukan kesalahan apa kepada Fiona? Oh, kamu sering diisengin sama dia. Terus kamu nggak menganggap dia sebagai teman kelompok kamu, padahal dia juga mengerjakan. Oke, Faima. Karena ini adalah tugas kelompok, baik untuk kalian. Kalau memang kamu tidak ingin sekelompok dengan Robert atau teman-teman yang lainnya juga, kamu bisa langsung laporkan kepada guru kamu kalau kamu tidak ingin sekelompok dengan orang tersebut, seperti itu. Mungkin untuk kedepannya laporkan apapun yang mengganggu kalian, seperti itu, baik Fiona maupun Robert. Nah, karena kalian sudah sama-sama saling mengerjakan tugasnya, jadi tugas tersebut tidak bisa hanya diklaim sebagai tugas Fiona, tapi tugas tersebut juga tugasnya Robert karena kalian adalah grup, seperti itu. Bisa dipahami Fiona dan Robert? Oke, thank you.
She solved the problem ya. Jadi ya udah, ini kan kerja kelompok ya, yang nggak bisa diklaim sendiri seperti itu, walaupun ada konflik ternyata di dalamnya ya. Ini aktingnya bagus sekali ya, iseng gitu ya. Ya apa namanya, seolah dalam tanda kutip kayak ada konflik di dalam kelompoknya kayak gitu ya. Jadi kayak apa, membuat akhirnya satu orang mengklaim pekerjaannya sebagai pekerjaan dirinya sendiri gitu. Tapi terima kasih, it means that the teacher is available for the students, is there for the students gitu ya. Kalau ada yang mungkin next time, lain kali bisa disampaikan lagi kalau ada masalah sama teman sekelompoknya kayak gitu. Tapi tadi juga sudah diselesaikan masalahnya adalah karena ini tugas kelompok, jadinya harus diklaim berdua pekerjaannya, nggak bisa seorang diri seperti itu. Okay, thank you. So that's for the role play. Setelah ini I want you to work with your groups as usual ya. So you need to finish your planning for performance. So because tomorrow you're going to perform, untuk masing-masing grupnya kan ada 3 orang. Itu silakan kesepakatan, siapa yang mau maju duluan silakan kayak gitu ya. So I won't interfere your group discussions gitu ya. Silakan ditentukan sendiri di kelompoknya sendiri-sendiri siapa yang mau perform duluan. Tapi saya hanya akan mengundi berdasarkan kelompoknya. Oke? Ready? Ya, oke. Ready lah ya, ayo. Akan saya tuliskan sekarang grup 1 hadir. Grup 1 mana grup 1? Oke, grup 2. Oke, grup 3. 3? Oke, 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Oh, oke, so you grup 8. Oke. Nggak datang ya? 9. Oke, 10. Oke, so langsung berkelompok, silakan berkumpul dengan kelompoknya masing-masing.